saying, and listen to the Spirit. Cut the flesh off. You know? It got to be a cutoff point sometime. You know? Because if you're not around the Akim, and if you're not doing something in the daytime, in a lot of cases, or doing something in the spirit, a spiritual activity, a lot of time, Lord don't want us out like that. It's really a situation where you get in and you get out. And sometimes, depending on the area you want to go to and the timing, it's not expedient to do it around that time.
Call hello Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is a response to the Elder Kazak's video, big brother down there in Mississippi. And a lot of times, man, there's certain brothers where they just hit the point where you needed to hear something at a particular time. And, you know, because this kingdom can be monotonous. And in the monotony of this kingdom, which, bear with me, I'm going to get that word, monotonous. Yeah, this is the word right here for monotonous. It says dull, tedious, and repetitious, lacking in variety and interest. So a lot of times in this kingdom, you know, we're stuck. You know, we got to deal with, you know, let me pull up the brother's video again. And we got to deal with just the everyday grind. And a lot of times you need an outlet, and we tend to go to things that maybe not be the best outlet at times, whether it be going out drinking and stuff like that, which of course take all of this with a grain of salt, because you know, we can't be over righteous, obviously, but it's a good advice, man. It's a wise advice to sometimes to just go take your ass home, man. And I'm definitely exhorting myself, you know, formerly in the world before the truth, you know, coming out of college and shit, I had gathered certain ways about me, you know, and I know there's brothers out there, you know, pretty much Greekish fashion, you know, being a party animal, you know, going out at all times of night, you know, sleeping the next day. It's really just not conducive to being productive in the ministry and just in general in life, and, you know, handling our responsibilities in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of danger out there, man. You know, there's a lot of judgments just waiting to happen, especially the closer we get to the end. We know that, you know, to take heed when the Spirit is speaking, and when the Spirit is saying to take your ass home, to take heed. And Lord's will, I can take heed, you know, because I know there's been a few times where I probably pushed it and, you know, shit could have went left. But, you know, fortunately the Lord preserves us. But there's always a certain point where the Lord, he's just going to let he's going to let something bad happen to you if you keep tempting him, you know, and it applies to every single one of us. So let's go ahead and grab this. This is Galatians 5:6. I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Yeah, the flesh, you know, the flesh just wants to do what it wants to do. It doesn't regard your safety and well-being. You know, the flesh just is carnal. You know, that's the lower nature of man, you know, and that's why the scripture says that ye are of your father the devil, because the majority of our people, they're completely after the vibration of the so-called white man, Esau Edom, and he's after the flesh. He's a carnal man. That's why he sold his birthright, because he couldn't be patient and hold out. And that's the carnality that the majority of our people follow after. But we're supposed to be of a different fashion, walking in the Spirit, you know. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. Yeah, so a lot of times we're gonna go off. That's just a part of walking in this truth. And after a certain point, you're gonna go off, but then we're supposed to amend our ways, and as the months and the years accumulate, we're supposed to move beyond certain habits, you know, move beyond certain things that's detrimental. And it comes with just age and experience a lot of the time. When you come being a young man coming into the truth in our 20s, a lot of brothers came in our 20s, and there's certain things we just had to, there's certain battles that we all have, and that is one of them, that go out demon, which again, a lot of times you get up with the brothers and, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's actually a beautiful thing too. But then there's always like a cutoff to where, all right, Satan is out there lurking, man. So, and especially with the spirit that we have everywhere we go, we tend to, whether we even are trying to or not, just our mere existence riles up other spirits. So, it could go up easily, especially because we're pretty much opposed to everything that this world represents. So, a lot of the time it's good to just take heed and go home, man. Again, I'm exhorting myself. It says, but if you be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Yeah. So if we're led of the Spirit, because the law comes with, there's laws, and then there's transgression of those laws, and then there's a punishment for it. So we're not being held strict to that standard because we're led of the Spirit. So we're fulfilling the major aspects of the law by following the Spirit of the Lord, which is given as a gift. Okay, and a lot of time, what is out there, man? Like it says here, the works of the flesh. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders. Murders, man. Bodies is dropping out there. People are very desperate. Remember that the more harsh the economic times gets in the months and years leading up to Jacob's trouble, which that could really go full force any day now. All right, there's going to be more of these. All right, murders, envyings, you see, drunkenness. All of the works of the flesh are out there, especially at night. Okay, drunkenness, revelings. See, revelings is a part of it. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can grab that blue letter right quick. It mentions that revelings, that's a part of the works of the flesh. Okay. So, yeah. Envying, murders, drunkenness, revelings. The word there for revelings is homos. It says a revel, a carousal, a nocturnal and riotous procession of half-drunken and frolicsome fellows who after supper parade through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity, and sing and play before houses of male and female friends, hence use generally of feasts and drinking parties that are protracted till late at night and indulge in revelry. Yeah, that up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. spirit. Essentially that's the Bacchus spirit. Now, not to say like you could be out amongst certain people and still maintain your integrity, but that's always a cutoff point. There's always a point where it's like, all right, now is the time to go home. Now is the time to or just avoid it altogether, to be honest. Every brother's spirit is different. Certain brothers are more just to be frank about it, that they have more self-control than others. It's all part of knowing ourselves, but those revelings, and the closer we get to the end, it's best to just avoid a lot of those situations where it could end in a problem and an issue, and especially if you're by yourself. It says in such like, I'll read it again: envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So we want to inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So we have to avoid situations, and that's part of wisdom. There's a scripture in Wisdom of Solomon 6, I think it is, one of my favorites. It mentions the 4 cardinal virtues, and these virtues, let me see, might be 8 actually. Yeah, here it is. Wisdom of Solomon 8, and 5. I'll read from 5. It says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And part of wisdom is foresight. Are we not calling ourselves prophets of the Lord? So we say things before. But if we're able to predict, which really is the Spirit of the Lord, that's upon us to do it. But if we're going to say and mention the end of the world and things that's going to happen, how much more should we be able to foresee potential hazards and danger that's right in front of us? And part of that is being out at all times of night, without no particular reason to be out there. If you work late at night, obviously that's different. But if you're just out there, and the Spirit is really telling you, go home, but damn well that you're following your flesh, that's the time to really try to reel it in and rebuke it, rebuke Satan and follow the Spirit, man. And then a lot of times, man, you go home and you're so grateful. I could say for myself, man, a lot of times when I just take my ass home at a decent hour and just, go to bed at a decent hour and wake up the next day and handle my business, I'm always in a much better, mental state, more inclined to be in the Spirit, more inclined to be healthy, That's part of wisdom, though. It says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? Yeah, look at this. This is the definition of prudence. The ability to govern and discipline oneself by the use of reason. Well, if A, B, and C happens, then D, E, and F is on the other side of that, Sagacity or shrewdness in the management of affairs, skill and good judgment in the use of resources. Yeah, sagacity. So, as a matter of fact, let me grab that word real quick. Yeah, so sagacity, the quality of being sagacious. And sagacious means having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment. Shrewd. All right, so as it says, reading on, and if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude. You see, a lot of the Greek philosophers, which many of them were Jake, or if not the overwhelming majority of them were Israelites. All right, they got it from Solomon. All right, because temperance and prudence is what? Self-control, discipline. All right, not just doing whatever. Well, I feel like doing it, so I'm going to do it. That's not being temperate. And prudence, okay, and prudence is, again, that foresight, that ability to use reason. Okay, the ability to make the right decision in any given situation. Okay, justice and fortitude. All right, which justice is knowing right from wrong, essentially, and bringing forth justice. And fortitude, which is essentially courage, right? Strength and courage, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. All right. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old and conjectureth aright what is to come. And that's the spirit of prophecy that we have. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders and the events of seasons and times. You see, so subtleties of speeches, expounding on dark sentences, dark, different breakdowns of different scriptures, right? She foreseeth signs and wonders and the events of the seasons and times. And this is what the Spirit allows us to do. And if we're able to do that, we should be able to foresee things that could potentially go wrong if we do certain things in this kingdom. We can't really do the things that regular people do, all the time. We have to be of a whole different fashion and carry ourselves in a different way. And part of that just comes with just not being in certain situations, And I can remember specifically, it was a time where I really needed to be on point. And that desire of wanting to go, out and be a part of whatever the fuck was going on out there, that was kind of in the back of my mind, but I had to rebuke it. And it ended up being that I benefited greatly, and I was able to further, the Lord really put the Spirit on me so that I could be furthered financially and be in a better predicament, So, just a quick response to the brother's lesson about taking our ass home, because it really ain't shit out there for us, man. But a bunch of problems and disappointment and, stress that we can definitely avoid by taking heed to what the Spirit is saying, and obviously you're going to go out at times, of course, and the best thing is if at least be with the brothers, if you're going to do that, and be mindful and circumspect of our surroundings, So with that, all praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash, Shalom, Barak, Thelma to the hopeful elect. The Lord's will, I catch you on the next one. Shalom.